Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Legion Talk, episode number 64. Now, what we're going to be taking a look at today in the news is Donald Trump. That's right, CNN cannot get enough of the orange man, because he's bad. These guys, they can't help themselves. They really can't. It's absolutely embarrassing. Oh, basically, General Miley was busted recently, talking to China about the fact that he was worried that Trump was going to start a war. So, from 4 hours ago, but when I pulled the story up, it's more like I believe 9 hours ago. Yeah, 9 hours ago. But when this was archived, it was only 4 hours ago. Oh, Donald Trump was in. Obviously there's a bridge here. I can't really see that. So there were countermeasures to ensure Trump didn't start a war with China on his way out the door. Yes, that actually happened according to Peril. Here's the relevant passage. Woodward and Costa write that Joint Chief Chairman Mark Miley, deeply shaken by the assault, was certain that Trump had gone into serious mental decline in the aftermath of the election. With Trump now all but manic, screaming at officials and constructing his own alternate reality about endless election conspiracies, Miley worried that Trump could go rogue. The author write. You never know what a president's trigger point is, Miley told his senior staff, according to the book. What about Joe Biden's trigger point? He seems to be like just flying off the handle and not taking anything seriously. I mean, he doesn't know if he's coming or going. Think about that for a minute. Miley, the top military advisor to the president, you're not the vice president, you're not the secretary of defense. I think they kind of had it handled, dude. Yeah, the 25th Amendment is there for a reason if it really needed to be used. But you talking to the Chinese behind the United States back is treason. You need to be removed immediately and charged. You gots to go. General woke. Because he's also the one that said, white men are the biggest danger to this country, you psycho. A man who undoubtedly spent considerable time with Trump in this period of time, believed that he was in serious mental decline triggered by his election loss. And here's the thing, Miley wasn't the only person who noticed a change in Trump's behavior in the wake of the election. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, a loyal ally of the president, felt the same way. Again, the Woodward Costa book sheds light here. This is all coming from a book. I mean, there's nonfiction categories, there's fiction categories, there's sci-fi categories. I don't know. So, I mean, the book details a private call McCarthy had with Trump the night before Biden's inauguration. According to Woodward and Costa, McCarthy told Trump, "I don't know what's happened to you in the last 2 months. You're not the same as you were the last 4 years." It's just like... This all from a book. I mean, do we actually have like a voice recording of this phone call? From a book, really? McCarthy then repeatedly pleaded with Trump to call Biden. You've done good things and you want that to be your legacy. Call Joe Biden, McCarthy said, according to the authors. According to the authors. So, my third party, technically probably like my fourth party, do it for me, the GOP leader continued. You've got to call him. Call Joe Biden. Why? Because Joe Biden's the savior of everything? According not to the border crisis and what happened in Afghanistan. Oh, and to countless Americans who he's telling, I'm done. My patience is wearing thin on the vaccine. Yeah, good luck with that, dude. Hey, go kick rocks back to the White House, you old mother... So not only the top general in the country, but also one of the two top Republicans in Congress and a Trump ally believed that the election had changed something in Trump, and that at least in the case of Miley, believed that Trump's mental health had declined to the point where he needed to intercede with China so that a war didn't get started by an unhinged Trump. You realize we still have a vice president and a secretary of defense. Did you not decide to consider talking to them? I mean, Mike Pence certified the election and Joe Biden became president, right? Right? Did we miss that part? Oh, wait, no, we didn't, because now we're in the mess we're in because of that. That is, in retrospect, terrifying. Oh, the boogeyman. CNN needs to get a new shtick, dude. Because it's not as though Trump has been the picture of consistency and normal mental health behavior for the bulk of his first term. Quite the opposite. But that Miley and McCarthy believe that things had worsened in the final months of his presidency suggests that we may well have been closer to a catastrophe than anyone even thought. And there were plenty of people, particularly after January 6th, which is supposed to be worse than September 11th. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in the history of me being alive for 36 years. I remember September 11th. Nothing like January 6th. Nothing like January 6th. You losers need a new line. That believed the potential for more disastrous outcome was very real. Who reads this crap? But that's more than terrifying and arresting because Donald Trump isn't gone, not even close. How much more is this garbage? God, who reads this? I said this many, many times in the campaign trail. We may have defeated Trump, but Trumpism is not dead in this country, said California Governor Gavin Newsom in his victory speech on Tuesday night. What, are you gonna blame Trump for the fact that your state is an absolute disaster? He wins, by the way, the recall. And in his victory speech, Trumpism is not dead. This is psycho. You people need a new tune. Boy, y'all love Trump, man. Damn, you guys love him more than the people who voted for him. This is psycho. This is not a partisan statement. It is a fact. Oh, it's a fact. There's no evidence to that fact, but it's fact. No, a fact has evidence. 2 + 2 is 4. 2 + 2 = 4. That's a fact. The sun is a white hot ball of flaming gases that made life in the solar system possible. That's a fact. Life on this planet couldn't be sustained without the gravitational pull of the moon because it affects the tides, which affects all life on this planet. That's a fact. Trumpism is not dead in this country. It needs to be defeated is not a fact. He's never conceded the 2020 election to President Joe Biden, and B, continue to push the big lie that the election was somehow stolen despite there being zero actual evidence to back up that belief. The election was certified. Joe Biden's president. Trump's not president. Let it go. You. As recently as Monday night, Trump was using the same blueprint to sow doubts about the California recall. There were. Does anybody really believe the California recall election isn't rigged? Trump asked in the statement sent from his Save America PAC. Millions and millions of mail-in ballots will make just another giant election scam, no different but less blatant than the 2020 presidential election scam. This is not then a story about the mental health concerns about a former president. Rather, it is about the mental health concerns leading officials have expressed about a man who is, without question, the leader of the Republican Party and the current 2024 frontrunner to be the GOP nominee, which should concern all of us. These guys are lame. Oh. From 5 hours ago. So we went from 9 hours ago. Where's this crap? They didn't put a timestamp on it. Trust me, when I pulled it up online, it was from 9 hours ago. This one's more recent, from 5 hours ago. The big lie is already tainting the 2022 and 2024 elections. Criminy. Oh, we're gonna scoot down a little bit past a little bit of psycho. Longer term, the fact that tens of millions of Americans were seduced by Trump's lies about election fraud poses grave questions about the future of America's democratic political architecture itself. You mean like the fact that Joe Biden is probably more of an authoritarian than any president in the history of this country? making a statement for the whole entire country to see that my patience is running thin about the vaccine mandate. Yeah, that's not good. That's authoritarian. The federal government telling small businesses, if you have more than 100 employees, you are to mandate they get vaccinated. That's authoritarian. You think Trump's the bad guy? God, you guys got to smoke something else. Ultimately, if the large minority of the population no longer has faith and rule by the people for the people, how long can that system survive? I don't know. You guys want to get rid of the filibuster, and you want to pack the courts, and you psychos want to go with the basically the majority rules and get rid of the electoral college. I'm sorry. Who's for the people? And if the will of millions of people is no longer expressed through voting, what other outlets are there? Already, the January 6th insurrection has shown what happens when aggrieved groups, in this case, the election was certified within 5 hours of that nonsense. It was taken care of. 5 hours later, they voted. Joe Biden became the 46th president of the United States. Mike Pence oversaw it. In this case, incited by a massive lie, takes matters into their own hands. What about the massive lie that the United States is all the systems of the United States are racist, and police, all cops are bad, and the $2 billion worth of damage from the summer of love 2020? You know, when you couldn't catch COVID in the streets from protesting freedom. You know, when everybody got their freedom Jordans for old what's his name? What was his name? Oh, they made a statue for him. He threatened a pregnant woman, and he died from excited delirium from an excessive amount of narcotics. Yeah, that guy. Oh, what's his name? The survey finds that 36% of Americans don't think Biden legitimately got sufficient votes to win last November. I don't disagree with that. I have a hard time believing that Joe Biden is the most popular president in history over Barack Obama. Joe Biden can barely put 3 sentences together, but you know, Barack Obama and Donald Trump have been some of the most charismatic presidents ever. Either way you split it. But you know, Ramblin' Joe, I mean, he likes ice cream. What kind of ice cream did you get, sir? Oh, chocolate chip. Oh, to the media's delight. This is insane. Paradoxically, Republicans are more likely to say that democracy is under attack than Democrats. Yeah, because democracy is under attack when you try to force a vaccine on people. You can't do that. It's unconstitutional, which means unconstitutional equals illegal. Illegal. You can't force small business owners to close down. You can't force small business owners to force the vaccine on a company of 100 or more individuals. It's illegal. It's unconstitutional. It's illegal. That is despite the fact that any fair reading of the last few years shows that Trump has repeatedly battered the pillars of the democratic political system. Really? Did he pack the court? Nope, have the same number of justices. Did he get rid of the filibuster? Nope, filibuster's still there, but I know the Democrats talked a whole lot about that and getting rid of the filibuster, but surprisingly, I'll give Joe Biden credit. He did defend it. Let's see. Is Trump trying to, shove a vaccine down everybody's throat, or does he say that it's, my body, that it's everyone's free will to choose? Interesting. I don't know. The twice impeached ex-president abused power repeatedly, politicized the Justice Department, and sided with tyrants rather than Democratic leaders. Who are these tyrants? Would you like to put some of their names? When it was the will of the people that he ejected from office, he tried to stay, came close to staging a coup and trashed the election that ended his presidency. Staged a coup. Democracy is not football. Most Americans don't spend much time pondering democracy and constitutional guardrails. Any free-loving American should really think about constitutional guardrails because you clowns are trying to climb all over them. A subject that has become an obsession for Beltway media and lawmakers in the Trump era. Ooh, they're talking about Ron DeSantis and what's his name? Greg Abbott in Texas. The cost of health care, the pandemic, kids trying to get back to school, expiring unemployment benefits, and eviction moratoriums, and a homelessness crisis highlighted by the California recall election are more likely to concern most people. Yeah, well, seeing as Gavin Newsom is mostly responsible for a good chunk of the homelessness. But ultimately, such problems are hard to solve if the faith of the people are in their political system fails. This is just absolute dribble. Look at it. Let him go on. This is crazy. CNN is full of weirdos. Sorry, you need to find a new boogeyman there, folks. It's just not going to cut the mustard anymore. You guys are clowns. The 2022 elections are coming up, and all these governors who decided to crack down in authoritative dictatorship ways of like everybody needs to stay home, or I'm going to fine your business until you go bankrupt. That's unconstitutional. Vote these fuckers out and saddle up for the 2024 election, because you know what? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris gotta go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. God bless the United States. May God walk with it through the nonsense that's going on.